Biome Research, Design an Animal by Jennifer Lee. This lesson was created for a third grade class of 20 students ranging in age from 8 to 9 years old. The school has a total of 485 students, and most of the students come from middle to upper middle class backgrounds. There's only a small handful of students who come from low-income households. There are 8 boys and 12 girls in the class. Within the group of girls, there is 1 Chinese student and 4 Polish students, but only 1 attends an English language learners class. At this time, there aren't any students attending special education classes, and most of the students are outgoing, visual learners and enjoy using the computer, collaborating, and sharing projects. All students are meeting grade level standards in reading, with 90% of the students reading and comprehending above grade level. This is important information to have when choosing research materials. Also, the students' prior knowledge stems from learning about the habitats of butterflies and frogs in 2nd grade and from previous lessons in the science unit. The overarching strategy used for this lesson is resource-based learning. In resource-based learning, it is important for the classroom teacher and the library media teacher to collaborate and do the upfront planning. This would include setting goals, selecting and gathering resources, and creating a timeline. There's a timeline as you can see on the page here. According to Campbell, Frigoli, Griffith, and Wojcik, by becoming familiar with different types of resources, students are better able to make choices when faced with important decisions. Resource-based learning works well with the different learning styles and needs of the students in the class. Students can choose websites and books that meet their needs for reading and comprehension levels. The teacher and library media teacher also collaborate to develop rubrics to assess students and products and evaluate the unit. The website students will be using is for this lesson provides access to the timeline, resources, and learning goals, as well as access to all the assessments. Students will be engaged during all phases of resource-based learning. Other learning strategies include Gang's Conditions of Learning and Bruner's 3 Principles of Learning. In Gang's Conditions of Learning, the first step would be to gain attention. The second, informing the learner of the objectives. Number 3, stimulating recall of prior learning. Number 4, presenting the stimulus. Number 5, providing learner guidance. Number 6, eliciting performance. Number 7, giving feedback. Number 8, assessing performance. And number 9, enhancing retention and transfer. The first day of this lesson will be using steps 1 through 4 of Gang's Conditions of Learning, when students will review a short video and are told about the objectives of the lesson, review prior information, and start working on their Google Doc. Steps 5 through 7 of the Conditions of Learning will be met over the next few days of the lesson when students are actively researching, asking questions, and receiving feedback from the teacher and through peer collaboration. Steps 7 through 9 will happen in the last days of the lesson when students will be assessed on their final project and have created a new animal to live in their biome. Bruner's 3 Principles of Learning, readiness, spiral organization, and going beyond the information given, also fit well with this lesson. On the first day of the lesson, students are reviewing and reflecting on prior knowledge. Later, students continue to build upon their prior knowledge through research and are being asked to construct new meaning as they progress through the lesson. And at the end, students will create a new animal using information they have learned in the lesson. There were 4 instructional objectives for this lesson. Upon completion of the lesson, the learners will develop research skills by using resources and recording information in Google Doc with 90% accuracy. They will also understand that animals adapt to their environments for survival by using a Google Doc to record their research with 90% accuracy. Also, they will design an animal with features and survival needs based upon their biome research, using Pixie with 90% accuracy. And finally, they will create an iMovie and explain how their animal fits into their biome by sharing their project on Explain Everything with 85% accuracy. Next, we're going to be looking at the website and the Google document that students will be using for this project. This resource-based learning project takes approximately 4 to 5 days to complete. Students will be working for 45 to 60 minutes each day on their project. They will use the Biome Research website to work through the process. The website is clearly laid out and is student-friendly. Directions for each step of the process are on their website. What you are seeing is the first page of the website. On it, you will notice there is a video that will be shown the first day to get the students excited. They will also be shown the navigation tools in the sidebar so they can become more familiar with how to navigate through the website. A discussion will take place to choose biomes and to remind students what adaptations they might discover as they do research. This is also the time the teacher will share the objectives and expectations for the project. Students are going to be told they have to become like scientists and they have to learn about their biome to see if they can discover a new animal. Next, the teacher will discuss the biomes previously learned about in class. If there are struggling students, they should be given the more concrete biomes, such as the desert or the rainforest, to work on. Other students can work on less concrete ones, such as the coral reef. Here you will see the Google Doc that the students will be using, and you will also see the general information page. The general information page has a list of the biomes, basic project information, links to the Google Doc in case it is not already in the students' Google Drive, information about the resource page, the required technology, and how to communicate with the teacher and peers. Links are also available to the assessments. Each step on the Google Doc corresponds to a page on the website. This page gives information about characteristics of biomes for the students to be aware of. This is the project resource page. It has links to outside websites, it has links to password protected websites, and it also has a list of books that students will be able to use. They will be placed on the bookshelf in the classroom. The websites chosen are kid-friendly sites, and also the books were chosen because they are at the students' reading level in the classroom. All the technology and resources chosen for this project are because they are easily accessible by students of any level. Here you have another view of a Google Doc and the corresponding website. Students will be using self-assessments to check their progress. The self-assessments are listed at the bottom of the Google Doc, and it will direct the students back to the website. Once on the website, students can click on the correct assessment and take that assessment and then turn it in. Throughout this process, students are collaborating, they're self-assessing, and the teacher is making observations. Students are working through this process on their own, and they are only asking the teacher if they need help. This is the last phase of the process. Students are drawing their animal on Pixie, taking pictures on iPads, and merging images and their drawings to create their presentation. On this page and the last page, you can see examples of students' work. These are additional web pages that the students have access to. One is the learning objectives to make sure that they are meeting those objectives and standards assigned for this project. Also are the links to the assessments on this assessment page. Next, you will see the student self-assessment rubrics. The words in red are where the students would mark their responses to each category. This is the final project rubric that the teacher will be using to assess the students' final projects after they have been dropped into Dropbox. During this whole process, the teacher has been available to coach the students as in the resource-based learning model. Each day, the teacher has been meeting with students to assess their progress through observation. This observation can be placed in the notes section on the rubric. At the end of the project, the students will be giving feedback. This is a Google form, and the information the students give will be sent directly to the teacher in her Google Doc. The information will be used to make improvements to the unit as the teacher sees fit.